Right, there we go. Hello everyone. So sorry for the delay. I'll get into that a little bit before we hop into our main topic. As you can see from here in the title, or if you're watching this, not watching, or if you're watching this later, or if you're listening to the audio version, we'll be finally going back into our episodes. 'Cause, I picked two last a while ago, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, when we did our last podcast episode. And with the new job and trying to, work out that schedule, I just haven't had the time. Even on the days off, I've been exhausted. Um, so I haven't even had the time to even just jump on stream and just do a quick, even a maybe short chatting stream. I've been so tired. Um, Even today, I was like, I have to do something because it's been a while. I haven't even just my podcast episodes. I've just been sitting there, so I'm like, no. I already had the two animes I was going to talk about. I already know this one because I've rewatched it like a bunch, and especially since like a new movie is supposed to be coming out following like the next current art story wise. So I was like, kind of like it's perfect timing, to talk about this anime. And then we'll get into whenever I have the next day off and I'm not exhausted, it's when we'll hop into the other episode. But yeah, so before we hop into that, just let people know, if you haven't already been like kind of keeping up, I have started my my temporary seasonal remote job. And one of the things with that is it starts at the crack of freaking dawn. I am not a morning person. At most, I maybe is up around like maybe 11, 12 o'clock. So being up at like basically when the sun's coming up, yeah, that's not me. Unless the only time that I'm up is if I've literally been up the whole night and have not slept, and the sun's coming up, which is by then I'm sleeping and then I don't wake up again officially until like maybe 1 or 2 in the afternoon. But that's normally how my schedule is, and kind of just how I've always been. I've always been a night person. I've always been the type to not really kind of be up during the day. Most days it's like days I'm sleeping. Nights is when I'm up, which is crazy. So even when one of my previous jobs was like an overnight, I was like, oh, that works for me because I'm usually up at this time anyway, so it doesn't really bother me. I know I had some times when people were like, oh, why don't you switch to the morning? Mind you, their morning it's like 6 in the morning, and then they left at like 4 or 5. So I'm like, yeah, no, you get the day to yourself, but then you're up at the crack up. You're literally up at like even before the sun is up. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Hell to the no. But but yeah. So for this one, it's not. It's early, but it's not like super early. I'm not up at like 5 or 6 or 7 or anything like that. But for the training, we did have to be up at. I mean, the times are that different. We had to be up at 9, and then training was until like 5:30. At least, well, I'm counting my time. 'Cause that's the thing with this job. They have people from basically all over the state, over the country. So not everyone is on the same like time zone. There are some people who are in my time zone, so our times were like getting up and leaving off a line. But there are people who are like maybe an hour behind us. There are some people who are like 3 hours behind my time. So it's like everyone's on like different schedules. So there are some people who their time they are waking up at like 6 in the morning, and I'm like, ugh. I'm like, I could not. Cause what 6 in the morning? Who was up at like 6 in the morning? But I mean, I guess. But yeah. So training for the first week was that whole like 8 to like 5 my time. Oh, no, like 9 to my time, and then like 5 my time, and then us hopping in was about the same, just like an extra. Like we got like an extra 15 minutes before our official time started, and then we hold on. Okay, I thought I got an error that my signal was bad, but I think it is. I think it's like glitching weirdly. I mean, this is gonna be a pretty short. My podcast episodes normally run like maybe 30, 40 minutes. I think my bit rate is low. It's probably because of what I'm using. Yeah, give me a sec. Looks like I can't really, because one of the things is with this job I have to have be connected to like my Ethercord thing, and unfortunately the thing I'm using only has one port. So at first I was like, whenever I was hopping onto my computer, I was literally switching the cord back and forth. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of getting annoying. Especially like, what if one night or one night going in the morning I forget and I need to have it on, and maybe I wake up late and I don't realize. Let me plug that in and see if that works. Okay. That should give us a bit of a signal, at least for now. I'll unplug it when I'm done. Do I sound echoey? I don't know. But that should fix our connection, at least for now. I don't want the stream constantly going out. But, yeah, so I ended up having to buy me like a Wi-Fi adapter for my PC. Just so I wasn't be switching the cord back and forth. I do sound like I'm echoing, which is odd, but whatever. What was I saying? Oh, so yeah, and then that's what I was kind of using, but it looked like it was glitching stuff. Everything was acting up, so. I mean, I wasn't really doing much. I was just like watching stuff on here, especially the show we're talking about. So, but yeah, just the whole me trying to get adjusted to this new schedule, because it is like early in the morning, and then by the time I leave, it is like afternoon, kind of going into night. So, hold on. Now I sound weird. I don't sound as crisp as I did. Hold on. Okay, there you go. That's better. My volume was low. My mic, that was weird. But yeah. So that's kind of why the last 2 weeks, the weekend I hadn't been able to hop in was mainly because of that. Like, it is a Monday through Friday job, so you know, Friday is my last day. I get to relax, and then really only have like Saturday and Sunday to kind of chill, you know. So I am trying to, you know, kind of get more used to the schedule. So once, you know, I hop on, I can like maybe do a Saturday stream, or maybe I can do a Sunday stream like I'm doing now, you know, or both, depending on if I'm not totally exhausted by the end of the week. But yeah, we'll see. But other than that, the job's doing good. The pay is really good. We get paid weekly, so you know, literally by the end of every time I'm dead in the weekend, we're getting paid. So, like I said, I can't complain. It's a very good job. Literally, can do is doing it at the comfort of my home. And yeah, so that's pretty much how my has been going. But y'all not here to hear me talk about my job. You're here to hear me talk about the Irregular at Magic High School Season 1. So, like I said, a while back, I saw that there was going to be a movie, like a movie adaptation of like the next arc coming next year, I think. Let me verify that. I saw it on Twitter. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up. I think I might have bookmarked it. Let me see. That was a while ago though, but it's bookmarked. I should see it. Oh, and I want to give a shout out. This was the beginning of the month, but it's been on October 6th. It was the 20th anniversary of when Shaka Khan no Shana officially like debuted anime wise. So, you know, as people kind of already guessed, for a few people who were in the stream, know that I kind of based my name off of this character because I really loved this anime. So when I was thinking of what would I go for an anime name, and I was like, wait, I really liked Shauna. I like Shakungan no Shauna. I loved the anime, so I thought that'd be a cool like odd like what's the word? Kind of a homage to that character, you know. Oh, here we go. I found it. Yes, the Irregular Magic High School the movie Yotsuba suggestion arc is scheduled for Japan for 2026 in Japan. Yeah, so basically it looks like the next arc is going to be sometime next year in Japan at least. So knowing us here in America, we probably won't get it until like the year, maybe two after. But I just thought that was really interesting, and kind of fate that we were doing the kind of allusion or hopping into the original where the story began. So, I figured, we can kind of go through, maybe, hopefully, through the other seasons and, up until when that movie comes out. But yeah, so, like I said, we'll be discussing the Irregular at Magic High School, just the first season. But the first season is actually really long. It's like the longest of all the seasons. They've done like, I think there's like two movies. One that's like either an exact correlation or like a prequel to like a previous arc. And then there's one that's like a movie off itself but takes place after, I think, season two. So it's really interesting. And then we did get the third season. Uh, when was that? Like couple of, like maybe sometime last year or 2 years ago, when we got season three. Um, but so it's like this anime for a while just didn't get anything, and then it like kind of resurfaced and is now coming back, which I'm mad about it. I didn't watch this as that was coming out. I heard a lot of negative things about the anime when it was originally coming out. People kind of really didn't like it. Then I started watching it myself, which I don't know why I always do this. I hear people say like an anime is really bad and they don't like it, so that's why you shouldn't waste your time watching it. I always go back to this as an example when people said that about Black Clover. They were like, "Oh, it's so bad, I just can't watch it." Then I started watching it myself just because I had nothing else like new to watch. And then I was like, what is everyone talking about? This anime is so good. And I love Black Clover. Speaking of, I wonder when we're from. I mean, they said they're doing season two, so I just want to come already. I wanted to. I can't wait. Like I've said this before, when they did the Wizard King, sort of the Wizard King movie, it like kind of revamped my love for Black Clover, and the fact that wow, it's been a good couple of years since we've had anything new Black Clover related, unless you've been keeping up with the manga. But this anime was also the same. Like, was really known back when they first came out, and then kind of died off, and then kind of picked back up when like season two and season three dropped. And now with this new movie season coming out, it's just kind of interesting that the anime is still getting love. And like I said, I'm here all here for it. 'Cause I really do. I did it. I do, and I did enjoy this anime. So as usual, I'll go over our usual like notes, synopsis, go over certain characters, and then we'll go over, especially with this anime, especially the first season, it covers about like 3 arcs. And then like every other season after that covers at least like an arc or two. Like season two, I believe not. Season two is just like one arc. It only focuses mainly on like one arc. Then season three, if I'm remembering correctly, it's been a minute, but I'm pretty sure season three covers about 2 arcs, if not 3, like season one. And then we are getting this movie that is going to be, I'm assuming, the next arc in the story. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. I see it's still glitching. I don't know why that is. Hold on. Hold on. And that, okay. I think that should fix it because I'm looking and I see it's still kind of glitching. So, but I think it's because I had both up and it was still trying to. Hold on. Yeah, looks like my Twitch died. Let me give it a sec. Okay, I think it's back. There we go. Okay, that should fix it. But yeah, so like this season covers like three arcs. Season two is just one. Season three, I'm trying to remember, I think covers about like two or three arcs as well. So it really just depends. Especially since I don't think season three was that long. I think it's like a good amount, but it's not like a huge amount. I don't think it's as long as season one. Season one, if I'm remembering correctly, is the longest. Season two is pretty short, but then again, like I said, it only covers like one arc. And season three, I can't remember. I'm assuming it's like at least two. It covers like two major arcs. So like it's a little longer than season two, but I don't think it's nowhere near the 26 episodes that season one is. And speaking of, let's just hop right into it. But so yeah, so Irregular at the Magic High School, season one is 26 episodes. It aired April 6, 2014 to September 28 of the same year. So it came out in the spring season. The producers are Aniflex, Square Enix, Moveco, ASCII Media Works. The licensors are Aniplex of America. The studio that did season one is Madhouse. The source material is a light novel. The genres you'll find it under are action, fantasy, romance, and sci-fi. And the school themes are, well, the themes are school and urban fantasy. So, and then here's a synopsis from my anime list. In the dawn of the 21st century, magic, long thought to be folklore and fairy tales, has become a systematic technology and is taught as a technical skill. In First High School, the institution for magicians, students are segregated into two groups based on their entrance exam scores. Blooms, those who receive high scores, are assigned to the first course, while weeds are reserved students assigned to the second course. Um, the story follows the siblings Tatsuya and Miyuki Shiba, who are enrolled in First High School. Upon taking the exam, the prestigious Miyuki is placed in first course, while Tatsuya is relegated to the second course. Though his practical scores and status as a weed shows him to be magically inept, he possesses extraordinary technical knowledge, physical combat capabilities, and unique magic techniques, making Tatsuya the irregular at a magic high school. So, pretty much, like I said, it starts off. We get these two siblings, which, funny enough, right in the beginning of the anime, because they are in the same age, people assume, oh, if you guys are kind of the same, both starting off on the same year, you guys must be like twins or something. And he's like, when Tatsuya meets his future classmates, and then he's like, "Oh, that's my sister. We saw at the same time." They're like, "Oh, so you guys must be twins or something." And he's like, "No, we are. I'm the oldest. She is the youngest, and it's just that like his birthday was in March, and hers is in April, I believe. So they're about like almost like a year apart, but it just works out that there are times when they are like the same age, pretty much. Like, I think going into the school, they're both the same age for a little bit, and then he'll be like a year older. So that's kind of how it works out. They're like siblings who are like pretty close in age. That to the point that sometimes their age overlaps and they're the same, but until maybe a couple of weeks or a few months, and then the other one is older. But yeah. So Tatsuya is the oldest, Miyuki is the youngest. But, based off of their test scores, and then her scoring the highest, everyone sees her as this beautiful prodigy girl who's gonna make waves at first high. And you see some of the other first course students like gushing over her, wanting to, befriend her, get her to join their quote unquote clique of, we're the elites. We're like the stars and the face of First High School. You don't need to associate with the second course or the weeds, as they mainly call them. Even if one of them happens to be a relative, here we have a hierarchy that, us, the blooms, are superior to the weeds. And, at first, Miyuki is disgusted by this. She hates the idea that they're being so discriminated against her brother. She's like, they don't understand how amazing you are. Like, whatever they used to test our abilities couldn't, fully like analyze his true abilities. Like, that's not where his true ability lies, and like the tests that they use. So she at first is about to make like an uproar, saying this is an outrage. Like, knowing his skills firsthand, he should be up in like the Bloom's class as well. But we see later on in the show that Tatsuya doesn't really care about any of that. He doesn't care about status. He doesn't care about standing out or, you know, trying to make a name for himself. If anything, he is more concerned about Miyuki's well-being, that she's happy, she's having fun, no harm comes to her. And this is definitely one of those stories where we definitely see the brother and sister complex up to the max, because especially the way Miyuki and Tatsuya act with each other, you can definitely tell they have a very close, almost unclosely bond as siblings. You kind of really get more on it until a little bit later on, and there actually is there's a movie special that kind of goes more into depth on their relationship and how it actually was like the total opposite back when they were younger. But there was a very specific situation, and with that, Miyuki learned some very valuable information about why her brother acts the way he does or doesn't act in the way she thinks. So when she, learns about this, her viewpoint of him completely changes to the point that now she kind of almost worships the ground he walks on. Like, she wants to make up for how horribly she treated him or how horribly their family treated him. Now learning the truth of his abilities and all that, and learning how the one thing, and he says this, so it's not really a spoiler, but the one thing he only truly cares about is Miyuki. So when you get that kind of revelation on why that is, it puts a whole spin on, holy shit. At first you think maybe they just have some weird sibling thing going on, but when you really learn the truth on why they act the way they do, especially like Miyuki towards Tatsuya, you're like, whoa, okay, I get it now. Cause like their whole stuff, that's not, I mean, it's pretty messed up. It's not like straight up dark, but it's pretty like when you learn what happened, you're like, damn. Like, you just gotta be like, whoa, that's messed up. But, okay. It's funny. I have notes for each character I wanted to go over, and one of the things is, talking about it's Miyuki. Pretty sure you can kind of see in the pictures here if you're watching this live or later on YouTube. She's the girl with the long black hair, blue eyes, and has like this crystal snowflake design clip in her hair with like the yellow ribbon going down like a side. So Delta is that she's a first year student at course 1 in first high school. She's the younger sister of Tatsuya, though many don't realize at first, and born in March. She is a bloom, which is considered the upper class. She's currently the freshman representative and is well known throughout the school. Described as very beautiful and draws attention everywhere she goes, but she is still modest and kind. She has a warm and loving nature and defends her brother anytime she can. Which, like I said, once you kind of learn the truth why, she doesn't really stand for people, looking down or underestimating Tatsuya, once she, comes to terms of what he truly had to go through to be who he is. And it's another thing. Heavily hints that she has romantic feelings towards her brother, which she occasionally shows. She feels bad about being the genius, while her brother is only a reserve magician, as she thinks he is the real genius. Also, their father only cares about Miyuki and ignores Tatsuya completely. That's another thing. Later on in certain episodes, like, was it right away? I think maybe it was like the second episode, or towards the end of the first, is when, she gets bombarded with calls from her family, like congratulating her that she got into the school, that she's top of her class, and they expect great things from her, and they know she's gonna make them proud. So she gets off the call and she turns to Tatsuya. She's like, hey, did you get anything from the family? And he's like, nope, not a word. And this drives her mad, to the point that her power starts activating, out of her control, because she's like so upset. She's like, they were just bombarding me, congratulating me, doing all this, but yet they didn't say not one word to you. And it drives her mad, to the point that she starts like freezing the air and the surroundings around her. But of course, Tatsuya, snaps her out of it. She's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And pretty much tells him, like, listen, she tells her, like, listen, it's fine, it doesn't matter. I don't really care about those people or what they think of me. All that matters is you and your well being. So, yeah, another thing is that Miyuki is very sad about that, to the point where she either cries or gets angry when someone pities or downgrades Tatsuya. Like I said, you'll learn later on kind of why that is, and then when you do, you get Miyuki's like reaction when people underestimate Tatsuya, and kind of why she, and then also in the opposite, once people start realizing, Tatsuya's skills, and starts realizing that, he's more than what the school labeled him, that he is like, he actually really is smart. His skills are used elsewhere, kind of can't be measured in the scope that they measure other people's skills. So at that point, when people start like praising Tatsuya, calling him amazing and he's great, and go to him for advice and support, she starts glowing and she's just beaming, kind of being like, finally, there are people who are finally seeing his worth, the same that I've known for years at this point now. People are really seeing him for who he truly is and what he can truly do. Also, another thing, if you're watching this live and you're wondering why my model's not moving, I don't know. My V Bridger, I tried to get it up, working before the stream, and for whatever reason, it just was not working. But I was like, I'm not trying to be up here all night trying to figure this out. So I was like, you know what? I'll just leave her there. Y'all can still hear me. That's all that kind of really matters. Especially if you're just as audio, you aren't even seeing me with this, so that's fine. Next is Tatsuya. So, so Tatsuya is a first-year student in course 2 of the first high school. He's the eldest son of the Four Leaves Technology Company president, part of the... Ooh, that's actually, well, kind of not spoiler, because we do learn that by, like, episode 4 or 5. I'm gonna skip that for now. I'm gonna wait. His only sibling is Miyuki, since he was born in April and Miyuki born in March. Okay, so I did remember that, right? And I had it written here, so they are studying in the same year according to Japanese school system. Miyuki scores at the top of her class as freshmen, while Tatsuya scores near the bottom in the technical skills portion. The school is split between the high score students blooms and the low students weed. Tatsuya appears to have a very cold personality, except when it comes to his friends, his sister and his friends, which is actually another thing. You'll see that he kind of doesn't really give much attention to other people's opinions or just other people in general. At first, the only person he really cares about and will like show true concern is Miyuki. But as the story goes on and he starts making friends, with the other students in his class, he starts to warm up a bit. He starts showing concern to the people he's now interacting with. So now his concern isn't just towards Miyuki's well-being, he worries about his friends' well-being as well, which even later on in the series, when Miyuki, points it out, she's like, at first, in the beginning, you only really cared about me, only cared about my safety and well-being. Nothing else mattered. But she's like, now you have people you care about, people you want to support and be there for. And it like overjoys her. And at one point, it kind of shocks him because he, at this point, didn't even realize that he had kind of opened up his emotions to other people besides Miyuki. So, it kind of throws him off a little bit. But it's, like I said, he doesn't hate it. If anything, it's showing that he's more than what his family kind of made him out to be. I'll just leave it at that. Another character, which honestly I love her. She's so funny in the show. She's the red hair girl that you'll kind of see if you're watching this. And this is Erika Chiba, a course 2 student and Tatsuya's classmate. She's one of the first people to befriend Tatsuya, and it's close friends with Mikihiko, Leo, and I'm gonna butcher her name. The girl with the glasses. Mizuki. There we go, Mizuki. Very much a standard tsundere. She has an outstanding personality that allows her to befriend people easily, but she garners attention from those around her and is someone who is not easily committed and goes off on a whim. While she and Leo get caught off to a rocky start, it's clear that eventually there may be more than just friendship between the two, which is something that is pointed out towards like the end, where we get to like that third arc when they like start spending time together alone. And at first people are like, "What's that about?" And she immediately hops over to like, "Whoa, don't even go there. That's not what that's about. Like, there's nothing between me and that idiot." And it's like, yeah, no, we can see you're kind of developed feelings for this guy, and that's so cute, and I love it. I love Erika. Um, a beauty in her own right, Erika is the youngest daughter of the Chiba family, one of the 100 families famous for training people in swordsmanship. She greatly admires her older. Oh, that was her half brother. Oh, so they have different dads. I didn't know that. I know those. Does have 2 older brothers, which we meet one during the 9 school tournament, which we'll get into that. And then she has another one that's like a cop. So were they both her half brothers? I don't see. Well, I don't think I put down notes for the other brother. Okay, so the first one's a half brother? Interesting. Yeah. So she greatly admires her older half brother, Natsugu. I hope I said that right. Almost to the point of having a brother complex, and disapproves of his relationship with a certain character we'll get into later. She herself is a master at swordsmanship, enough for her to be recognized and allowed to carry the Chiba family name. During the third arc we'll go over, she's known for wielding a really large sword called Orochimaru, one of the pinnacles of swords types more forged by her family, which is pretty funny because Orochimaru, especially as someone who's been like rewatching Naruto, as soon as I hear that name, I'm like, yeah. Let's see. Shizuku Kitayama, a first-year, first-class student in Class A with Miyuki and Honoka. So basically, that's the short-hair girl. Yeah, short-hair brown girl with that you'll kind of see with the girl with the pigtails, pretty much. You can kind of skip him for now, because he doesn't really pop up until like the second episode. I kind of want to go over the students. Then we have Honoka, which is the girl with the pigtails, who's also a Course 1 student, who ends up in the same class with Miyuki. We do see a bit later on that she does end up developing like a crush on Tatsuya, ends up kind of gushing over him the same way that Miyuki were. And you could, like I said, you could obviously tell like she's developed a crush on him, and hates when people undermine him and talk down to him and call him a weed or that he's just a course 2 student. So she'll quickly, they'll go up and defend him. But you could definitely tell it's because she, at first, was kind of standoffish, but, seeing that, how he carries himself, how he cares about the people around him, trying to change her appointment, change her view, and you start seeing him kind of pretty much a similar light that Miyuki does. So it's pretty funny. Um, we'll talk about her next. Leo, or Leonhardt, is the other guy that's in Tatsuya's class. The one that eventually starts having like a romantic relationship with Erica, but they're both have that strong personality where they won't admit that they kind of develop feelings for each other. What's the other person? Then we got Mi Mizuki, which is the girl with the glasses. So she's also course 2 student. Ooh, here we go. Mari Watanabe. She is part of the moral committee chairman of First High, and one of the reasons why I hold off on her is because she is the girlfriend of Erica's older half brother, the one that she's disapproving the relationship on. So, so she is dating her older brother. Have been for a while. Didn't say how long they were dating, but has because actually, from what it shows, I think he's supposed to be older. Either he's older and doesn't go to school anymore, or he goes to a different school, but we never see him in like any of the other uniforms. So I'm assuming he's older, probably already graduated, might be in college, I want to say. So it's not like that huge of a dip, because by the time we meet her, she's a third year. So she's in her final year of high school. So if anything, he's probably like a college student, just getting into a college student, or maybe like a 2 years. So it's not a huge gap, I don't believe. They never really said what their age difference are. But I just know, like, I don't think he's in school, like any of the schools. I don't think they're the same age. Do we never see him pop up in like one of the uniforms? And when he does actually visit her during the 9 schools tournament, he's in like regular clothes. So that kind of gave me the impression that he's not like in school, like high school anymore. He had maybe he graduated like the year before, or maybe the year before that. But yeah, so that's why I wanted to hold off on her. But basically, she's like the short hair girl you'll see in like the student council, hanging out with her. And actually, that's kind of a good way to bring up her. Mayumi Sawagusa. Basically, it's the daughter of one of the wait, hold on. I was getting this mixed up. Yes, basically she's the daughter of Saigusa Konchi, the head of the Saigusa family, from his second wife after the first died. Their family bears the number 7 in their name and is one of the 2 most influential families in the 10 master clans. She has 2 older half-brothers and 2 younger twin sisters, which we actually don't meet until season 3 when they start attending the high school. So you can tell that they're like at least like a good like a 3-year difference, because by that time she's in college. So, and they're just starting out in high school, so they're 15, 16, and so she's got to be like 17 or 18. Well, at least by the time we meet the sisters. Making her the oldest daughter of the main family and the 3rd child. Due to her position as the eldest daughter of the Saigusa family, her beauty and her abilities are considered to be one of the most rideable rising stars among blue bloods. Mayumi, yeah. Or Saigusa, because they can't really call her that. They call her by her last name. It's a young lady known for her natural beauty. It's stated during her internal monologue that she stopped growing in her 3rd year of middle school, which makes her slightly shorter than average. Her limbs are described as quite long, despite her short stature. And then we'll skip that part about her chest, because what the fuck? Okay, here we go. Considered to be a prodigy in the magic community, her nickname is the Elf Sniper for her extraordinary talents in long-range precision shooting. She's also known as the Elven Princess for her beauty and talented with her and her magical abilities. Let's see, she's one of the three strongest third-year students at First High School, which also includes other students such as um, Goodmonji and Mari Montanabe. Which you guys do see the other two. Do we have a picture that has them? I think it's the one with Tatsuya and that other guy from the student council. I'm trying to see if it pops up. I know I have it, 'cause I saw them. Yeah, that one. So the other guy is the big bully guy, is the Jumonji, who's the head of that family. And then the girl that was next to him in that picture, that's that's Mari Watanabe. Uh, okay, who else? Who else am I missing? Oh, actually, there's a very important person. There's two actually, which I'll get to at the end. But the first one is actually a very important person that kind of correlates into kind of like a hit, not a hidden, but pretty much the backstory of Tatsuya and Miyuki, and that would be Maya Yotsuba, who is the current head of the Yotsuba family, one of the two most powerful families among the 10 master clans. She is Tatsuya and Miyuki's aunt, the twin sister of their mother. So when you do learn that, you're like, wait a minute, so why is their last name Shiba? Why isn't it Yotsuba? Or, maybe they took their dad's last name, which we actually found out, I guess, is kind of true, but it's more like, well, the dad kind of married into the family, some stuff went down, and they wanted to basically separate themselves from being associated from basically one of the two most powerful families, in the magic community. So decided to take on the surname of Shiba so that they can, in a way, try to live out normal lives without it being attached to their family. And we learn later on that it seems like Miyuki is in the running of possibly being the next head of the family, along with some other people who also showed some promise in the family. So, and then we find out because of the fact that she is a candidate for being the next head of the family, that she needs a constant, well, pretty much needs like a bodyguard. And that's where Tatsuya's role comes in. Basically, his whole role is to keep Miyuki safe at all cost. Since she is and could be the next head of the family, they need to make sure no danger, nothing comes that could jeopardize, that if it comes down to it. Of course, at this point, we haven't really seen any of the other candidates. So when you do see Miyuki, you see her amazing abilities. You see how she's already highly ranked from the school standards, and basically what she does later on in the show. You definitely think, okay, she might actually have a very, very good chance of becoming the next head of this family, which in a way would put a huge target on her head. So that's why Tatsuya also enrolled into the school. One, to be there as her constant bodyguard, keep Miyuki safe. Since if she does become the next head of the family, it's very important that no harm comes to her from outside forces or from maybe any other families that might be jealous of, or have a grudge against the Yotsubas. So that we do get a bit more into that in other seasons, kind of seeing more like how the Yotsuba family kind of works and the grip it has on not just Miyuki but to Tatsuya as well, and it's really really crazy. And one of the other families that with a character we don't meet until we get to the ninth school top competition is Ichijo. I don't know how to say his last name, but we're just calling him Ichijo, because that's what they call him, pretty much. So Ichijo is a student of 3rd high school, and is the next head of the Ichijo family from the 10 Master Clans. Hold on. They're just talking about... Hold on. Okay, here we go. he was like he has a nickname known as like the Crimson Prince or something like that. That turns out he's had like combat training. He's gone to like maybe not straight up wars, but he's definitely gone to like battlefields. That's kind of where he got his name. So he is like very well known, and it turns out that he is the part of the other major family that's like second to the Yotsubas. So a lot of people already, hear his name. They're like, oh, and I think it's supposed to be like the quote unquote leader of the like his family is like head of the 10 master clans. So with him being the next head of the family means that he's the next head of the 10 master clans in general. So like his name is already well known throughout like the Magic community. People already know him, know of his like reputation, and you kind of really see that more when you get into the ninth tournament or competition, and pretty much seeing like this his skill base and kind of the high hopes people have for him and whatnot. But even before meeting face to face, we do see that there's a bit of a rivalry between him and Tatsuya. And but then, funny enough, we see that he has maybe in a way developed a crush on Miyuki, because he'll be like his not standoffish, but kind of like sizing up Tatsuya, showing respect, but he's sizing him up. Well, not really respect at first until he, don't know how, but eventually not towards the end when he realized that Tatsuya and Miyuki are related. I guess maybe in his mind, maybe he thought that they were dating or something. It wasn't until they were like, literally, like he had taken a moment, they were side by side. He looks between them both and he's like, wait a minute, are you guys siblings? And he Todd's just like, you just now noticed that, dude? Like, come on. I'd like that had like they had like made like the same facial expression. So when he saw that, he like looked between them both and he was like, wait a freaking minute, are y'all related? And he Todd's just like, dude, really? You just now realized this is my sister and I'm her brother? So I don't know. I guess maybe he felt intimidated. Like I said, maybe he at this point you can kind of tell he maybe had developed like a bit of a crush on Mayuki. So I guess seeing a guy always around her threw him off until he realized that's her brother. But let's see what else. But yeah, we kind of don't really get much more of him until like later on. But we do see like when a certain situation pops up towards the last arc. That when it's time to take charge, he is quick to take charge, and his skills are almost second to Tatsuya's. Their fighting style are kind of almost similar, but their abilities are different. But they do, both of them are beasts in their own right, and kind of there's a reason why people have such a high viewpoint of him. But yeah, that's pretty much of characters I kind of wanted to go over. So I'm gonna go a little bit over each arc, kind of pretty much, because like I said, this season covers 3 major arcs. Then after that, there was a new Weathering Waves character that dropped, so we can like watch that reaction, and then we'll call it a night. Especially since I do gotta head off to bed in like the next like hour or so. I've always tried, especially with me getting up at like 9 something, well, getting up like at 8 to be up at 9, be ready for 9. I always try to go to bed around like 12 o'clock, 12:30, maybe 1 if I'm pushing it. Just so I'm getting myself at least a good 6-7 hours of sleep. I don't know how some people can sleep with like 4 hours. I feel like a zombie. I felt like a zombie that first week. We had to had to be up at that time. I was like, oh my god, it was killing me. I had to buy freaking like sleep gummies. I used to buy them before, but I had stopped because I didn't really need them because my schedule kind of worked around how I normally would go to sleep, so it kind of worked out. But this whole me waking up early in the morning, yeah, just to have something that can help me actually go to sleep. But yeah, so Each arc, like I said, there's three, and each of them go by a very specific name and cover a certain amount of episodes. The longest one is definitely the middle one. That's about a good like 10 episodes. But the first episode is called Enrollment. So that's episodes 1 through 7. Pretty much, this is the beginning where we're getting the school life. This is when Tatsuya and Miyuki start going to first high school, where they meet all their friends, meet Saigusa, and pretty much start creating friendships and bonds with the characters in the course 1 and course 2. But halfway through, there is an incident where it looks like a terrorist group is trying to recruit students to join their cause. And one of the students, like, kind of attacks Tatsuya, which then, draws his attention into it. We see, like, students being manipulated. They eventually attack the school in hopes of getting access to like their records and files and certain like information. So once Tatsuya gets involved, normally he even states that something like this wouldn't be something he, would care about. But the fact that they went to the point that they were willing to attack the school, and put Miyuki in danger and kind of almost ruined her, her life here of trying to just live a normal life. Um, that's when Tatsuya pretty much is like, okay, now y'all taking it too far. I let things slide because it wasn't my problem, wasn't my issue. He was gonna let the authorities handle it. But it's like, now y'all came to school, y'all causing trouble, y'all put Miyuki in danger. I'm not having that. So he tracks down their location and with the help of the other students are able to take down that branch of the organization. Turns out that a student there had connections to whoever was running that branch was like his new stepbrother or something. Freaking siblings, I swear to God. And then like was using that to recruit students from the school and helping them get access to the school to get to those files, and was manipulating characters left and right. It was crazy. There was so much going on in just like these 7 episodes of now we're meeting all these people and we're trying to learn the world, and we not, and it turns out like discrimination isn't just at the school, it's kind of worldwide. Basically, if you don't have the top-notch abilities of a magician, people are treated poorly. So basically, if you're like a normal person who can't really use high advanced magic or no magic at all, the world kind of, in a way, starts screwing those people over. So there's a lot of discrimination of, oh, people who with magic are treated better than people who maybe aren't that good or skilled at magic. And then there's also the side that, oh, if you're really skilled at magic, you're pretty much being trained to be a living weapon. That you'll just immediately be thrown into the military or some government position and just be used like a tool. So there's a lot of sides to what's going on, that, oh, these kids are doing this, but they're also that side of, well, they're just being trained to be weapons, or if you're not good enough, then you're treated badly, and you get discriminated against, and there's just so much going on, and so much we get to learn about the world and how it's affecting not just the students, but even everyday people, and how because of that, you got groups like this popping up that are saying like it's wrong that people who are just happen to be born naturally gifted at magic are getting better treatment than maybe someone who has more practical skills, or maybe one of the students that kind of got manipulated. She's a really good swordswoman, but because it doesn't correlate with her magic, she gets treated badly. People treat her like she doesn't, like her abilities don't matter if it's not related to magic. And that's how that group was able to like get in her head, get her to start doing these things, and sowing that doubt in her that this is the only way students like her and beyond will get the recognition they deserve. So, but they eventually, they solve it. We get to learn a little bit more about Tatsuya, and it looks like he has some military training as well. There are some high government officials who are sergeants or lieutenants that either recognizes him or recognizes his style, and they're like, "Oh, I know you're commanding officer, or I know the person you're like commanding under. They've told me about you." So, you're like, "What the hell has this kid done? Aren't you like 16? How do you have this level of combat already?" So that's kind of like a sign of like, what is going on and who is this kid? Then we get into the next arc, which are the next 10 episodes, 8 through 18, which is the Nine School Competition. An inter-school sporting event known as the Nine School Competition is just around the corner. So that's when we learn that there are 9 other magic schools throughout Japan that at one point in like once a year they come together, and it's kind of like what's that? It's kind of like the sports fest. No, what was it? Was it? No, what was the event they did in My Hero in season 2? That whole event, was that the sports festival? I don't remember. But basically, it's kind of like that, but then their version of it with like magic or magic based abilities and whatnot. So with that, they pick the best students, who have the best stats and whatnot to, correlate in certain events where it's sniping or trying to melt your opponent's glaciers using magic, or trying to keep yours safe. And there's so many different events that they do. It's so crazy. But at the same time, it turns out that someone is targeting First High and is doing everything in their power to sabotage the students and make them lose. Later on, we find out that the group of that is a syndicate called the No Head Dragon. So it turns out that the reason why they're doing this is that, I guess they themselves put bets or profits into what maybe a different school winning. Oh, that's another thing. We learn also that First High has come in first the last 9 years. So this is like their 10th time doing this. And, people are like, whoa, if they've won this like their 10th win in a row. So most people kind of have like, oh, they're going to have maybe, they probably they probably 9 out of 10 place their bet on a different school. But, knowing First High's reputation, how they've, how they've come in first the last 9 times, they're like, yeah, so basically we gotta do some heavy-handed stuff so that they can lose, so that way they can, you know, ensure that their profits don't go down the drain. So that's when they start sabotaging the First High students, and the stuff they do is crazy. They start messing with people's equipment, start placing viruses in their CD, CAD. That's what it is. That's what I meant to forget. That's another thing. The thing is with the magic that they use, it's not just like straight up magic, kind of like how it is in like maybe Black Clover or a magic show like maybe Konosuba. No, they kind of generate their magic through certain devices by like typing like digits or codes, and then the magic kind of gets, pushed out through that. So a lot of them have some outlet of it called CADs. Miyuki's, hers is like the shape of a phone, but there are other characters whose has there's a different, like Leo's, his is like a gauntlet that he wears. Erica's, hers is like a baton, kind of like the ones like police use, but it's like whatever material it's made of, it's a lot like stronger and denser. And then most students you'll see throughout the show kind of have like a wristband thing that they use, and they type up the numbers or the codes and they use it like that. But then there are characters like Tatsuya and Ichinose, where their CAD is basically in the shape of a gun, and it's really slick and cool. I'm not gonna lie, especially since the end of theirs is like based off of their color. So his is like a silver, kind of bluish, and Ichinose's his is like red, but like, or not really red. It's more like a purple magenta with like some red accent to it. It's actually really freaking cool if you see his gun. Like watch the show. Definitely would. I mean, I'm 100% recommending this anime, but like just kind of. I mean, even one of the openings, it kind of shows what his looks like, and it's basically like a different color version of Tatsuya's, and it's actually really cool. But then you learn later on there are all other characters who do that, and most characters don't just use one. Sometimes they use multiple ones or have a backup. But that's pretty much what they do, and kind of why I brought that back up, even though I forgot, was because they started like affecting the kids' CAD, putting like viruses in it. So like halfway through an event, something goes wrong. Either the magic gets overpowered or it shrinks, and ends up causing like huge accidents. At one point, Watanabe, she is in the middle of a, I was gonna say snowboarding, that's not right. Like surfboarding competition, and her CAD starts acting up to the point that it sends her and another girl flying. Well, one girl like messed up, or I forgot. Then they like messed up her CAD, and then when she tried to do it, her CAD was messed up too. So they end up crashing into each other, and she got like really seriously injured. And it's funny because with that, that's when her boyfriend popped up, which was Erica's older brother. So when she sees this of course like puts her off. She's like, "What are you doing here? You have responsibilities to the family, yet here you are throwing that to the side for some girl. Like, come on now, get it together." um, and at one point, they target Miyuki. And when Tatsuya, at this point, he's already heard other people's have been affected. Even one girl, he had worked on her CAD. Pardon me, acts up, and she's like it's like helping her float. So it acts up, and poor girl almost crashed and died. But luckily there were like safety procedures in case that caught her, but that really like freaked her out, knocked her out. So when Tatsuya had a feeling that they were gonna target Miyuki next, as she was in the next competition, goes there, gets her, scanned, because they gotta scan it to make sure students aren't cheating, adding extra codes or formulas that, weren't regulated and weren't approved. He immediately senses, oh, that's another thing, he, like, built and made her CAD, so whenever it needs, like, fixing or tuning or upgrade, he does that for her, instead of her going to, like, maybe someone else, or going to a different professional, like Tatsuya does it for her. So when he goes and he has them scan it, he immediately senses that something odd was added to her CAD. So he immediately confronts the guy, and he's like, "What did you just do?" He's like, "You really think I would have noticed you putting an extra thing in a CAD I've made and conducted myself? Like, clearly, I don't know what your problem is, why you're targeting my school, but now the fact that you are now physically targeting my sister, that's not gonna work, my guy. No, no, no." And, this gets us informed, to the higher-ups. They find out what's going on. But at that point, Tatsuya is, like, sick of it. He's like, "Bad enough now, a lot of my friends and comrades have gotten hurt. But now that you directly went in after Miyuki," he's like, "Okay, all bets are off." And he goes to he finds out a branch location of one of their hideout, and he wipes them out. I'm not gonna say how he does it, it's just so badass on what he does. It's crazy. Because, like, you blink and he just annihilates them. They didn't have a chance. They stood no chance, really. It's crazy. But, yeah, but then at the end, him and Ichinose, I hope I'm saying his name right, have this huge, they are in the same, like, competition together, and, in the end, Tatsuya wins. But this ends up putting a kind of a target on his back towards the end. One of the other characters, Jamonji, comes to him, and he's like, "Look, you beat the guy that basically is supposed to be our leader in the future, so a lot of people kind of have their eye on you, and are probably gonna try to get you to marry into, or try to get you into one of their families. They're like, your skill and your abilities, if you were able to take on this guy and beat him, oh yeah, people gonna come for you. People gonna want your powers and abilities for themselves." So he's like, listen, before they start hounding you, start doing all this, I think it's best if you go and you marry a daughter of one of the families um, that we kind of already have ties to connections with, so you're not being exploited by a different family or a different faction. And one of the people he points out is a Saigusa. So he at first Tasha's like, wait, what? You want me to marry her and or take like so basically he can kind of have like that leverage of oh, you know, they can't kind of just force him to do something if he's already connected to another family, pretty much. But of course, Tasha's like, listen, I have no intention of marrying anyone, especially not for reasons like that. Whatever happens, happens, but I don't intend on being a tool for anyone. I'm here to just live my life. Plus, I'm just a first year student. I still got 2 more years before any offers come up, if any offers come up. So I'm just gonna live how I can, stay by Miyuki's side, and whatever happens, happens. But yeah, no, that was crazy. Um, and that's also when Ichinose finds out that Tatsuya and Miyuki are siblings. They aren't dating. They aren't in a relationship. They are brother and sister. Same mom, same dad. That's another thing. Cause I was like, especially when you kind of see their odd sibling relationship, you're like, it wouldn't make it okay if they were half siblings. I'm like, they had the same eye color, so that's why I was like, okay, I know they're not step siblings. So I'm like, they gotta be are they half siblings? Is that why? And also why they were like, their ages are kind of the same and whatnot, and why they're kind of currently in the same year. But then we learn, like, no, they have, like, the same dad and the same mom. But like I said, later on, you kind of learn why the relationship is the way it is, and it kind of shores a light on why they act the way they do. Especially from how Miyuki used to treat him to how she treats him now, and how that's kind of opened up Tatsuya a bit more, and how he's ended up opening up to other students, and, eventually making friends and caring about them. And the last arc I want to talk about is the Yokohama Destruction arc, which is episode 19 to 26. So at the end of the 9-school competition, Tatsuya is scouted to participate in another important event, the Magic Thesis Competition. Basically, that's more where someone's intellectual and practical skills get put to use. This is where you make theses on certain magical experiments that can be used to advance, magic and advance, society as a whole. So this is something kind of more up for Tatsuya, who's more technical and logical. Like, this is kind of where his abilities more shine. Not saying that his fighting abilities aren't top notch. If anything, they are. But I guess you could say by school standards, he's more on the technical side, pretty much. So he gets asked to join. Oh, pardon me. Luckily, one of the thesis that they're working on correlates to kind of projects he's already been interested in, so he joins. But then it turns out that there's like an unknown force moving behind the scenes of this situation. That's when they later learn that it is a group that's targeting the Magic Association's main database, and by doing this, they have attacked Yokohama, where they are currently staying, and are in a way maybe even threatening to students' lives, or like using that as a distraction to then ambush the Magic Association's main building. It's crazy. So much happens that in that arc too. We get more villains that play a big more role later on in the series, especially in like season 3. We see Ichinose more of his abilities and why he's called the Crimson Prince. And then that's when the other students kind of learn a bit more about Tatsuya. They learn that he isn't like an active member in the military. He has like a rank. He's like a special agent who goes off and does like special mission, gets assigned such special missions because of his abilities. Kind of not in a way, but learning a bit more the dynamics between him and Miyuki. And they learn more about his abilities, but also the counter to it. So that he's able to, in a way, like kind of rewrite people's over when they suffer like major injuries or whatnot. Because at one point, two of his friends got like seriously injured. One got like stabbed in the back, and the other one had like his leg straight up like blown off of him. So Miyuki calls him down and like says, "Hey brother, can you please help them?" And then she explains like, "No, like he can do this." And then the other students start gushing. They're like, "Oh my god, if he can do this, he basically is like unkillable, or he can make people unkillable." But then Miyuki's like, "Yeah, he has this ability, but by doing this, he is also, when he does this process, he's also going through the pain, the suffering, and kind of like the mental state that the person went through. And since and I forget how exactly she words it, but it's in a way that it's like whatever they experienced in that moment where they sustained those injuries, he's feeling it like 50 times more. So she's like, yeah, he does this, but he's feeling the pain 10 times more. And it's like all like up in his, no, well, I don't think he physically feels it, but it's more like mentally he's feeling it 10 times more. So when she explains that part, they're like, oh my god, like, yeah, his power is amazing, but if it has that much of a side effect and that's how it works, I can't. One of the kids was like, I can't even imagine. I would go insane with an ability like that. And in a way, you kind of realize like that's kind of maybe why he's so unemotional. Pretty much is he kind of had to maybe in a way kill his emotions to use his abilities, because if not, it probably would have drove him nuts. So it just shows like there's still so much about Tatsuya and even Miyuki at this point that we just don't know. There's so much about his powers and abilities that we are just scratching the bare surface of what this kid can do. And in the end, they are able to defeat the bad guys, um, push them back. Tatsuya does this huge attack towards the end that ends up making like national news to the point that people are trying to hunt down like who did this, because whoever did this, we need them on our side pronto. So in a way, they don't know who it is. But it does in a way putting a mark on Tatsuya's back, and it's wild. Let me tell you, it is wild. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, this is definitely one of the animes where you just kind of just watch it. I know I skipped so much. There's so many things going on. Where there's like character developments from like, oh, I didn't even say this one character, Mikihiko. He's he's one of the other characters who are in Tatsuya's class, and he goes through this whole arc where, something happened and he kind of lost his strength, lost his will, but with being around the others and being in these environments, he's like built up back his strength and has grown as a person. And especially his cute little relationship going on with Mizuki. They're so cute. You kind of just see all the romances blossoming. There's like another girl named, dang it, what's her name? She's not the redhead, not Erica. There's like a kind of like magenta haired girl who's a first course student. We don't meet her until the ninth competition. What was her name? Was it Amy? Was that what they called her? Amy? I don't have a picture of her. Fudge, what was her name? I was bringing her up because, in the third season, there's like this new boy that kind of gets, well, no, there's a boy we kind of saw towards the end of this season that I don't know why, but somehow gets transferred to First High, and she is all over him. You could tell, like, this girl is in love. Hold on, I'm gonna look her up. Irregular Magic High School character. Well, no, not her. Oh, here she is. Hold on, where's my... There you go. She's this girl right here. But I can't remember what her name is. Oh, and they actually did. It's funny enough, they did like a spin-off anime called The Honor Student at Magic High School that basically kind of focuses on the girls of the school. So you're kind of getting like the first season over again, but you're getting it from like Miyuki's point of view and from the girls' point of view. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty interesting. You know, kind of seeing how kind of things played out from Miyuki's point of view compared to from Tatsuya's point of view. Since, you know, we do, I mean, Miyuki does play a huge role, but we do get, but the story is, like, mainly from Tatsuya's point of view. I'm trying to find her name. I almost got it. Amy! There we go, there we go. So I was right. Emmy. Well, her name is like Amelia Amy Akechi, but she wants everyone to call her Amy. I knew her name was something like Amy. Yeah. So basically, it's like there's this boy that gets, I don't know if he gets transferred or gets introduced into this, or gets moved, or gets into the school. I think they're in the same year, so he must have transferred or something. But she is like all over him. You can definitely tell she totally likes him. It's so cute. So, you know, she'll run up to him and, you know, she'll say hi and he'll get all embarrassed and funny enough, he'll like call her, oh, Mr. Ketchy, hi. And she's like, come on, I told you, you can call me Amy. Like, everyone does it. Even Sheba does it. And then, you know, kind of, he'll like, wait, but you call me by my last name, so shouldn't it be only fair that I call you by yours? And then she totally takes that, oh, so do you want me to call you by your first name? I have no problem with that. I love Amy. I don't know, I love characters like that. They're just so fun. But, yeah, that's pretty much the end of that. So, like I said, would I recommend this anime? 100%. It's so good. It's such a good fun of just, you know, seeing kind of like a different spin off the anime. I mean, not the anime, the magic, and how it's like kind of almost technicalized in this anime. And just, like I said, I enjoyed it. I would just say definitely give it a try. It's super long, like I said. There's 3 seasons out at this point, basically 2 movies with a third one on the way. So there's no reason why anyone should like there's no, what the hell? Oh, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. Whoopsie. Alright, so that's it for me. Well, podcast wise. Before we go, here we go. Oh, hold on, let me fix myself. There we go. So, I did want to do this before we go. So this is the new character that just got released in Wuthering Waves. So I figured I'm not nowhere near where that character is supposed to be yet, so, but I just want to see what they're about, you know, see if it's something. I mean, I've already hopped in the game and I've seen them. Basically, they're a gun character, but I want to kind of learn more about their lore and why they are the way that they are. So I think we watch this, and then yeah, then we'll call it a night, because actually it's been over an hour. I was not expecting to be talking this much, but like I said, the anime definitely recommend. You have so much to watch of it. 3 seasons, 2 movies, plus the third one on the way, and it's such an interesting show. I very much enjoyed it. Especially I remember I was hyped when I saw the 3rd season was coming out. I was like, oh, cool, finally. I didn't think we were gonna get anything more of this anime. I mean, they're bringing back so many animes. So many animes are getting like season 2s or continuations. I love it. One I want them to do so bad, but it's been years, so I don't know, is Yona of the Dawn. I would love for them to do a season 2 of that. Oh my god. Or continue on with like Snow White and with the red hair. That, I know the manga, that's still ongoing, so they have enough materials to do like another season. What else? I can't remember right now off the top of my head. But yeah, so we'll watch this, the new character. So, let's see what they are about.
Heard that devil is back again. What of the hunting squad? A lost cause. Not a soul came back. Did you see the Senate's bounty? They really opened up their coffers.
Oh, her outfit's sick too. Ooh, they scared of her.
The usual.
This is the upfront. Finish the job.
Just tell me, is it a worthy opponent?
Oh.
Help me!
Nostalgia catching up.
Is that her?
Such a low trick.
Wait, no, but her hair is different.
How should I pray for you? You wish to truly live, then be reborn through death.
Oh, was the girl just supposed to be a babe? What the hell?
Your heart wavers. Let me take over. I'll happily devour them for you.
Ooh. Little bitch. Ooh. Ooh. What the hell?
Your mercy will be the death of you.
Oh, that's sick. What the hell?
The mortal world has no home for you.
Ooh.
Flame demon of hell, may my prayers be
Ooh.
repentance for your sinful wings.
Flame demon.
Toxin is now gnawing at your nerves.
What are you?
It seems the hunter has become hunted.
No one can escape the net cast by fate. Join us in your mercy.
Oh, what the fuck?
So, the mask comes off at last.
What has happened?
Can she fly? That is sick.
Come now. Surrender your body and soul.
What is that?
Yield. Beg me for power.
Is that like an echo or a tacit discourse she's like bonded with or something?
Let me consume you. For that is your only chance.
Ooh. Oh, damn. Damn. Damn.
Submit yourself. Make your choice, Hunter.
No. The choice is yours. Die with me. Or fight for me.
Lunatic!
Like, nah, bitch. You choose. Did she get it?
Do you have to push it this far?
What are
All
you?
thanks to you. How many times have we done this?
Hard to say.
You've never won. And you never will.
Was that a dream? Or some illusion? I woke up in smoke and ashes. Felt like I'd been roughed up in my sleep.
This one's on me.
Oh.
A Kelpie can't mimic humans or conjure illusions.
It's a tide spawn. They are evolving.
Now's the time to find a real catch. And settle the score.
Can she fly? I don't know what I'm looking at. Actually, you know what? How about we watch this too? This is also on my recommended. This is for the new update that just went out with this character, so.
This blood.
Ooh.
It should be enough.
Why is it purple?
Time has passed.
No path to take. Nowhere to go.
Oftentimes it isn't hell that people fear. They fear fear itself. And that creates hell.
I can't get over that she could fly. At least her wings are like flame. That's so cool. Dawn breaks on black tides.
Come, little lamb.
Ooh.
Open your eyes. Sharpen your claws. It's time we journey into the underworld.
You're welcome to try and stop me. But me? I'm not stopping this hunt anytime soon.
Okay, so we get more of her fighting.
Devour.
Yep.
Tainted hellfire.
Devour them all.
By my trigger. Enter hell's gate.
Scorched to ash.
You creatures lurking in the dark.
Ooh.
I'll show you what the real darkness looks like.
Oh, who are you? Ooh.
Off with you.
What are you, a drunken swordsman?
Stars realigned.
Ooh. When do you come out?
Mandate calls. Judgment falls.
He kind of reminds me of someone, but I can't remember who.
I will deliver you. Her death.
Leviathan.
Protect the civilization capsule. That's what they're really after.
Prisoner's Scar of Jinzhou. Surrender now.
You're too late, defender of Guanlong. Beneath the dark tide, it stirs once more. All hope will be swept away. Annihilation. Right on time.
Oh shit. Oh, so you're the dude in the back. Ooh. Yeah, you're out. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, and that's their weapons. Must be new places that I haven't gotten to yet. Yeah, like new place. Three's Hero Crest. Ooh. Plain of Black Tide. Journeying Paradise. Oh, we got a new nightmare. Oh, I'm just gonna sleep. Interesting. I think that's out now. Oh, interesting. I haven't touched it yet, so I don't know. Ooh, getting the banner. I don't think I saw that. I'll have to double check. Ooh, what's this? Oh, a new event. Freeze frame? Oh, we have to like take pictures of people in certain events? That's funny. Ooh, I don't think we got that. That's out. I know that. Oh, yeah, no, that doesn't. That probably will come out when he's unlocked. Ew. Yeah, that's new. That's there. But just wouldn't it, will make it easier when you need to like rank up people. So that way you know exactly what you're getting. Ooh. Oh, I did see that too. Yeah, as a way to like modify echoes faster now than going through the whole other way. Yeah, now that the thing looks different too. They really updated a lot of stuff in this. Global filter? Oh, okay, interesting. That's why I was thinking, like, what am I looking at? Oh, okay. Environmental interactions on PC in certain scenes. Oh, cool. So you can kind of like interact with like the stuff around you. Alright. So that was pretty much it. Oh, wait. Nope. Stop. I think I've watched that one. But if not, that's fine. But yeah, so that's it for me. Let me go here. Oops. So now I'm gonna click on. There we go. Oh, that's it for me tonight, you guys. Oh, actually, I did want to give a shout out. In the 2 weeks I was gone, I was able to reach my 70 goal. So here on Twitch, I'm now at 70 follows. Woo! So now our next goal is 80. So I did want to give a shout out to, I think Johan was the last person, which I do remember you subscribing or following, but the person who gave me my 70 was 4 days ago, was, you can see here, Theo12 Disc. So thank you so much for the follow. Thanks to you, I was able to reach my 70 goal, and now on to 80. And over here on YouTube, let me double check, because sometime on that it's kind of off. I don't know why it's kind of a bit delayed. Yeah, because here it's saying I'm at 347 subscribers, but here it still shows 346, so it's only off by 1, which isn't too bad. But yeah, so 347 subscribers over on YouTube, and now we're at 70 follows over here on Twitch. So thank you guys so much. I'm surprised I have this many people following me or subscribing to me on both. So I'm just, totally excited that you guys are loving my content, whether it's here on Twitch or YouTube. Because remember, I do summer stream on both, so whatever disappears over on Twitch, just go over to my YouTube, and it's everything I've done so far has been saved up there. Even stuff that's not over on my Twitch, like certain videos I've posted directly just for YouTube or over there. I only have like 2 shorts, but that Danganronpa one I did got like dang near 500 views, which is crazy. On my podcast episode there, I need to get back in doing that so I can upload the previous ones I've done. But yeah, and then literally a playlist of all the previous games I've played, pretty much every other stream I've done has been up there. So definitely check that out, you guys. So yeah, I probably won't be back until seeing how I feel Friday. Maybe I can hop in and do something Friday. I did buy a new game. Because one, there was like this huge Steam sale going on, so there was a bunch of games that were like mad cheap, and I had bought 2 of the My Hero games, the Heroes 1, Justice 1 and 2, and they were like mad cheap. I think together both games was like $12. So I am totally. So I downloaded the first one. So I would, and especially since with the with the final season currently out, I think it'd be interesting to hop into a My Hero game. You know, just in the spirit of, you know, the anime being in its final season. So I don't know. I'll see how I feel. But if not, probably. Oh wait, did I work this Saturday? I think I do. I think it's early. Let me double check. I know I wrote it down somewhere. Alright, I had that meeting early in the morning. Well, it's, you know, I haven't been in there for about 2 weeks, so. And then I worked that Sunday early in the morning too. So, I guess we'll see. But if anything, I do have to, whatever I'm doing, it would be early in the morning, so that wouldn't really correlate into night. Plus, I do need to rewatch Fena, the pirate princess. That is the next anime I have to do for a podcast, so that could give me time to, you know, rewatch that, get that sorted out, so when I'm ready, I can do the anime podcast for that. But yep, that's it for me tonight, you guys. I'll see y'all next, well, hopefully, maybe by the end of the week. If not, I'll let you know. But yeah, so that's it for me. I hope everyone has a great day, night, evening, wherever you are. Stay safe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!